Hi. As you can see from the slide, basically talking about Medicaid, but to lead off, many of you worked with Wendy Mickey Glaus, and she did most of the Medicaid planning, that's the hardcore stuff, and so she's left. She moved to Oregon. Her husband's from Oregon, and I guess he wanted to be closer to his family, and she's up there now, still working as an attorney, but she's there, and so that's one change. Not so much in the law, but in the firm. But we're still doing Medicaid planning, and many of you have things you've done over the years for Medicaid. But part of what I'm up here to talk about today is a little bit about the state of Hawaii, because the state of Hawaii, they haven't changed the rules, but I'm going to say the attitude of the state has changed. Before, they were there to administer the rules, fairly and help people. But lately, their attitude seems to have changed, I think because they got some criticism from the federal government saying Hawaii has the highest utilization for long-term care Medicaid. So they're doing things that seem to keep people off of Medicaid. I wouldn't worry too much about your plans, because Attorney Tucker has never gone into, we've done a lot of Medicaid planning for many of you, but we've never been, I guess, what I would call aggressive, in the sense that we stuck with conservative tactics, things that are real basic. They work fine for people. There are other attorneys who have tried different planning, some things that are done in other states. For example, there's these things called Medicaid income tax effective trusts. They're used in some states. Hawaii's never allowed them, and even now, they're even more so. I mean, they'll go after them like a pit bull if you try to do that. And there's still attorneys in Hawaii doing that. We've never done that at Sterling Tucker because we've recognized the state doesn't like that. So the plans we've done for you still seem to be working. People are still coming in. They call, mom or dad is sick, got to go on Medicaid. We go through the process, and they're still getting approved. But the state is requiring more hoops. They're putting more obstacles. Some of these obstacles seem to be meaningless, except to try and harass families and take people off Medicaid. And one example is the state has always had a rule that the Medicaid applicant's residence cannot be in a trust. They make you take it out of your trust when you apply. They now extended that rule to say that a Medicaid applicant's residence, as to those portions that they don't own, have to also be out of trust, which makes no sense. It has nothing to do with the state's recovery or what you own or don't own. As far as I can tell, it's just to harass people. So if you share, let's say you and your brother own a house together, maybe he lives in it, that's his residence, and you put your half in your revocable trust because you want to avoid probate, right? But your brother gets sick, applies for Medicaid. It makes sense that they want him to take his half out of the trust because there's certain recoveries and things they can do. But why would you have to take your half out of trust? You're not responsible for his care. They can't come after your half, but the state's making you do that. And they're making you keep it out the whole time he's on Medicaid. So if you happen to die while your brother's on Medicaid, you got to go through probate. Well, that makes no sense, but that's what they're doing. So, but in terms of the people who have Medicaid plans, they're still working fine. Many of you coming to see us. And then, I don't know if some of you are here today that recently came in, but, we're still getting approved. We haven't, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But if you do have questions, as always, you can always call, or if you need to, make an appointment. And certainly if someone gets sick or is getting to a point where you see Medicaid or nursing home care in the near future, probably should come in, get the documents reviewed, and double check that everything's in place. But sometimes you don't have that luxury. Someone suddenly gets sick, ends up in the hospital and goes straight to the nursing home. So, but in that case, just call us and come in, and or have your kids call us, and we'll deal with the situation. Okay, so I think the next step is Lori.